Top of the morning, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury, Andy, the Destroyer Ruiz, and promoter Bob Arum. Get this. Bob Arum states that Ruiz may be next for Tyson Fury. He said, if it is Andy Ruiz, we'll do the fight in Vegas. Okay, Fury has endeared himself so much to the American fan base that wherever I went to Aspen, Colorado, and everybody was talking about Tyson Fury and what character he is. So if he becomes a big draw card in the United States, I'd love to do his next fight in the United States. Frank Warren wants to do the fight for him in the UK. Okay, but you know I'm all in with that. Tyson, I think, prefers to do it next in Manchester, but I really think we're going to have to take a look at the whole situation. Andy Ruiz is a good choice for Fury to fight next in the U.S. for the U.S. boxing fans. Those guys are better known, the casual fans in the States, than someone like Dillian White, who is unknown over here. Okay, those are the words of Bob Arum. So, what does this tell us? This tells us that Bob Arum, Frank Warren, Tyson Fury, they all have options. Okay, and Dillian White wants a certain type of money, as you guys know. If you've seen my video before this, he wanted $10 million. But nonetheless, the question you ask yourself for Andy, what would Andy want? What would he take? And the chances are, I bet you Andy would take the $5.5 million. And what Andy can't do, he can't lie his way out of this situation saying that the money wasn't real and all this, because the same amount of money was offered to Dillian White. I think it would be great for Andy Ruiz if he took this opportunity, because I think this is around the same amount, well, a little bit under the amount of money that he first received, will been blessed for fighting Anthony Joshua. Okay, he got twice as much on the second go round. So I think 5.5 is a good number, especially compared to the amount of money that he got for the fight purse to fight Chris Arreola. Okay, so I think he's looking now at this Chris Arreola fight, and then he sees now the possibility of another big fight with Tyson Fury, and he's weighing those, and you know that Tyson Fury fight is really outweighing that little Chris Arreola check. Okay, from check to check in comparison, it doesn't compare. Okay, so I think Andy Ruiz would jump on it. I think he is waiting around for the big fights. I think he was very mimado, spoiled, when he got in the ring with Anthony Joshua, okay? I think that, because he hasn't been right ever since. He's like Golovkin in retrospect, when Golovkin went in there with Canelo Alvarez. He went from "I good boy drama show" to "I want Canelo, only Canelo," right? Andy Ruiz the same way. He used to be the destroyer, wanting to fight everybody. I want to fight everybody. I'm ready to bring them on. And as soon as he got beat by Joshua, what happened to him? He ducked Luis Ortiz and lied on Dillian White. But he didn't fight at the end of the day. Okay? Bars. So I think for Andy Ruiz is great. My counterpunch on this is, honestly, I don't think Andy Ruiz deserves a fight with Tyson Fury. And I'm not mad at Andy. I just understand like what he's doing, what he's waiting around for. Of course, it's great for him. Another payday. That's the third payday. 2 Joshua checks and a Fury check. So, dude, you don't really need anything else. That's your career. That's like, gee, that's 25 mil. You know what I'm saying? That's a career-ending type of situation. So if Bob Arum's talking about Dillian White's talking about the last hoorah, what the hell has Andy been doing? Andy been waiting for another hoorah. And he knows, well, I don't have too many times for this to happen, and I'm not going to get beat up by random-ass guys to get to it or back to it. You know, so I think Andy would definitely take this fight, and if he doesn't, he's committing career suicide. Definitely. But I don't think he's done anything to earn this respect since he's been waiting around, since he's been ducking top heavyweight contenders, right? I don't think he deserves that at all. I think somebody else should get it. I hope Bob and will work it out with Tyson Fury and Dillian White, which I doubt. But I think that Ruiz needs someone like Joe Joyce or someone like Otto Vailene. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that will give him a run for his money. You know what I mean? He needs an Ortiz. He needs somebody that's going to push him or show us where he's at, to show us that he belongs to be where he says he wants to be again. Okay, that's what I want to see from Andy Ruiz. I don't want to see him jump back in there and smile his way to another opportunity, which he really didn't deserve. He ain't done shit since late 19. He ain't really done shit since mid 19. Let's be real. He ain't beat nobody except the upset with Anthony Joshua. He got that tune-up fight out of the way. He fought, I forget his name. Right? Then he fought Joshua, upset him. Then he lost again in December. And then he took a whole year and a half off. And then when he came back, he looked like shit and got dropped once and got hurt 2 or 3 times in that fight. So, I mean, that's all he's really done. On top of that year, he ducked 2 fighters. So, you know, ducking is not warranted, people. So, I mean, if you get labeled a duck, you better take a fight that people want you to fight to get away from that reputation, because people still talking. Then based off a knee injury that you supposed to had, then you were doing squats like 1 week later. Like, who the fuck does that? Okay, so there's a lot of questionable things that Andy Ruiz has done or hasn't done. You know, safer for him to speak, hasn't done in his career. So I think that Andy, you know, it would be great if he did, but does he deserve it, in my opinion? For the last time, Hades, no. He doesn't deserve this opportunity. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Tyson Fury possibly fighting Andy Ruiz as the alternative in the United States. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.